Alright, what's up everybody? How you guys doing? We've had many problems, but we are finally back with round 2. Nuda could not get into the game for so long, and I was thinking of DQing him because it took that long. But I knew that he could get into it. It was kind of just Smite taking forever to load too, on top of all the other things that his Smite had crashed. So yeah, it just kind of sucked. Timing was awful, but it's okay. We in it now, and we got the healer himself, Nuda, the infamous, versus the Hatmaster, the people's champ, and their Ymir. By the way, it was ruled that Guardians could not enter in this tournament because it is mage only, and Guardians technically aren't mages. So it would be kind of silly for me to, go back on the rules of the tournament. This is hilarious, by the way. It's like Scooby-Doo. Yeah, to go back on the rules of the tournament for any reason. Oh, Hatmaster just boldly walking up to the wave here, maybe. Doesn't get the full one-off on the wave there either, so his clear is not going to be as good as he'd like it to be. And looks like Nuda ends up in much better position than him. At least most of those creeps are pretty low, so you can just kill him with one more ability, but at the same time, Nuda wasting a lot of mana. He does have a Chalice available for him, whereas Hatmaster didn't go any mana pods, he just went the multi-pod, and I think that's probably not going to prove to be enough, but I guess Vulcan's mana costs aren't that hefty. Looks like he's semi-okay here. The problem is, like, how much will that multi-pod actually heal up once he pops it? He has popped one. We'll see. This matchup is a really interesting one. It's very characteristic of Nuda to pick a healer in some form. Puch, very big on self-healing with his 1 and his 3. Can utilize his corpses in such a way so that he can either blow them up for extra damage, or he can eat them and get health off of them. And it also lowers the cooldown off of his 1, which sets up for more damage. So you just gotta balance the abilities and see which one works for you. It's a cool little niche that he's got there. A nice little nuance to the character.
Did you enjoy that?
Hat doing okay on the mana front so far. It looks like Nuda's really the one struggling the most because the reason being that Vamp Shroud hurts you so much in the mana front. It doesn't give you any MP5 like Sands of Time does. And it only gives you 3 mana per time you damage an enemy with your magical abilities. So it's really not a lot of mana refund off of that. And on top of that, he is Puch, who literally just spams his abilities to no end. So Hatmaster able to pick up the red buff off of that. And yeah, everything kind of works out for him in the end, despite Nuda having a more convincing start on that first wave. Actually, yes. Vamp Shroud does count as protections. Nuda could disqualify himself here. Nuda is notoriously the reason we did this whole tournament. Reason I made it the way it was, only 1 defense item, and you can only go Warlock's or you can't go Warlock Sash, was because Nuda has abused the rules so often by going just the tankiest concoctions that you could ever imagine. Ooh, Hatmaster might be able to make it out of this. Nuda's gonna look for a 3. It doesn't look like it's up, and he's out of range. Great usage of the turret there to block the incoming 2. Knew that was gonna be, or his incoming 1. Knew that was gonna be his option there, and Hatmaster sniffed it out and prevented it. Yeah, short street, thank you. Yeah, somebody should definitely PM Nuda, letting him know. Uh-oh. Oh, that would have been amazing. Wow, that's good that he gets him to waste the Aegis, but Hatmaster doesn't know that Aegis is down, so he's not, like, too proud of himself, you know? He should be. You got the Aegis, my man, but he doesn't know that. Yeah, 1 defense is 1 defense. You can't you know, you can't abuse that rule. So hopefully somebody can, yeah, let him know. Because it matters a lot, you know, it's part of the strategy. He has defense up against the wave here in the early, and against the tower that other people would not be. You know, if we were allowing him to do that, while pretty much everyone else would say, you know, you can only go one defense. So hopefully the messages get to him before he builds, yeah, another one. Yeah, I actually specifically made the rule too. People asked about physical defense too, so I made sure. I covered my ass in every regard here to make sure that, you know, this wouldn't happen. So hopefully Nuda knows that. Maybe he does and he plans to sell it. He was here when I said it, so... Because I just said it before the tournament started, a little bit earlier as well. He's looking for the big poke here for the kill. The reach on Opwash's just kill moves is crazy. You know, most gods have set up with a setup from afar or poke from afar, but this guy's got his entire, you know, his entire kill combo.
Did you enjoy that?
Nuda using his ult there to take away the wave and try to give himself more room to pressure Hatmaster down. Hatmaster has gone for pen boots and will forgo the cooldown boots. Like we were talking about in the last game, cooldown such a, you know, viable stat on the mages, especially against each other. You know, there's no breastplate as your auto defense item that you'd be going. If you go Genji's, you'll find that cooldown there. But yeah, throwing it away for the pen at this point is always interesting to me, because I feel like it's so important. It's like so easy to just pick up the cooldown over the pen at this point. But maybe I underrate the pen boots.
Did you enjoy that?
Oh, nice steal from Hatmaster. Yeah, it's interesting that healer Nuda goes into the Bancrofts here when generally you would expect the build path to be Thoth. I think it's always either Warlocks or Thoth for this god, because you need that. You have their mana concerns are so hefty, and he needs to be able to just completely keep free casting at his enemies without any concern for his mana. And now he has, you know, he has to use his stuff very sparingly. As you can see, each combo of his just keeps getting lower and lower to a place where he definitely does not want to be. It just synergizes really well with his complete burst strategy as well. That all-in damage, you know, complemented by the Thoth.
Did you enjoy that?
Oh my god, a lot of damage on the hat here. No ultimate available or anything from healer right now. I'm gonna go back and forth calling him healer and Nuda. Hate when people's IGNs are different from their actual handles. Oh shit, Hatmaster real bold here. No. Real bold, but real late. My man. Both of them go for the Bancrofts. I definitely see it on the Vulcan. He's a god that can absolutely afford it, as you can see. You know, as Hatmaster has proven, there's not much mana concerns on his part. He can just keep going with the heavier burst damage options here, and the early game Bancrofts will really help him, because Vulcan's a god that thrives in the late. So helping him get there with a little bit of that like glimpse of late game damage that Bancrofts gives you by being such a powerful early game item. Yeah, it should be a tremendous help to him. Oh shit, dude! Alright, we're gonna give him until he finishes the item. If he hasn't seen, because we're on delay. Yeah, we're gonna give him until he finishes the item because we're on a delay here. Hopefully people messaged him. And hopefully it doesn't impact anything too much. Just like I said, you know, it's the rule for a reason, you know, the way I set it up. I would hate to disqualify anybody, though. I don't think we've ever really had to disqualify anybody. But he needs to sell that as quickly as possible. Ooh, this is rough for Hatmaster right now. He needs to get out. Nuda is gonna follow. Ooh, the tower comes to his aid there. That's great for Hatmaster. The tower takes the corpses, deflects them, and stops them from being able to follow suit onto Hatmaster and give him that burst damage. Really good pathing from Hatmaster in the defense there, or rather in the, yeah, sure, in the defense. We'll call it defense. Defense of his own life there. Well done. He's finished the item. He has one more back. Yeah, that's the problem with it not being live, like I said. If people messaged him, they said, right? But he's on a different delay than us. I think he might have to be DQ'd, dude. It's gonna come down to this. I wish, like, if it was a live thing, I could just stop him. See, can I message people from here? No. The other thing is, like, I can talk to Hatmaster, and if Hatmaster's, like, okay with it, you know, for him selling it, then that's good. It's such an honest mistake that just a nudge would be great here. Just a nudge so that he would know. But it is super, like, it is super relevant for people saying that it doesn't matter. It definitely does. You know, there's a reason we picked it. That's the Nuda strategy, you know, to have as much defense as possible. Yeah, he didn't put the low spectator delay, so he's up like 5 minutes. Yeah. Hatmaster killed him anyway. Yo, if Hatmaster wins, it doesn't matter. That's what we'll go by. Alright, if Nuda wins, because we're on a delay here. We don't know. If Nuda wins, we're going to have a serious talk, and we're going to have to see what happens. I will almost definitely DQ. But if Hatmaster wins, he wins anyway. Deal? Yeah, because there was a discussion on it. For those of you that don't think it's relevant, you know, ask Nuda why he built it. Physical protections are super important for the early game. So being able to combine that physical protections in the early against the minions, against the tower. So you've seen how he's been diving and stuff against the jungle buffs, all of that shit. It matters a shit ton. So for him to be able to have that and then also go into his magical defense item helps him against Vulcan, obviously. He's got... Yeah, he's got a solid lead in having that, but it's also a strategy. The vamp. It's not as though like Hatmaster would buy vamp here himself, given the same condition. It's just a Nuda thing, but it's just a technicality that it is technically a defense item, and it is something that, you know, I went over. Physical defense as well counts. But like I said, if he gets his ass busted, it doesn't matter anyway. That's why everybody's got to make sure that you know, follow the rules and just read the rules very closely. I believe in Hatmaster, the savior of the tournament, to stop us from having to DQ Nuda by DQing him himself. We'll watch and see. And also because I want, you know, YouTube to have a match to actually watch here. But I'd like to emphasize this is not in any way my fault. I covered all the bases. I said it so many times. It is entirely Nuda's fault. He does not care about this turret. He's running right through. You know, it'd be so funny if Vulcan's turret was physical damage. And that would be troll. Then it'd be super relevant. But yeah, the way this matchup goes, I don't know. Late game Puch is scary, dude. Like, really scary. So Vulcan is also insanely good the longer the game goes on. But Puch, in his element, being able to just keep throwing more shit at you. He sold it. Look at him. He sold it. I don't know. See, now he's going to make it even more difficult, right? Because if he ends up winning, what happens? In the meantime, Hatmaster goes and gets the Bull Demon, taking it down the Phoenix for a little while. Yeah, the messages got to him late. Like I said, I know he would have if we could have gotten to him sooner. But he didn't put the low spectate delay on for the match. We're going to have the debate of the century on the stream if Hatmaster doesn't win this game. Sides will be taken. A war will be waged. Blood in the streets. I know we're going to have a war in the comments either way. Look how little damage Puch Ultimate does. It's crazy. It really is so negligible until you're in the thick of it and he's also throwing other shit on you and it adds up and it's just so overwhelming. Not much damage to this Phoenix here yet from Hatmaster because he doesn't have an Obsidian Shard and he didn't have any creeps to take away the backdoor protections. Even if you've disabled the Phoenix, the creeps don't, or rather the backdoor protections aren't removed from it. And I think that actually should be looked at, right? If you disable a Phoenix, I think it should take off the backdoor protections. Because you've rightfully disabled that, then. That's yours. Oh my god, Hatmaster real low here. He aegis is nothing, and it's actually gonna kill him. It impaired his movement too much there. He wasn't able to backpedal as he needed to, use his backfire to get out quicker. Instead, stuck in that aegis. Nuda waits out to the last frames of it, applies the 3 as a dot, and it kills him right as he gets out. Okay, where's the vote? No, I think either way I would DQ him. I would have to. That's the rule, you know, that's the rules. If there was a way to go around it, then I would. Yeah, I would have to ride by the DQ. I think that's your responsibility as a tournament organizer, you know, no matter what happens.
Did you enjoy that?
We have one savior of that scenario. Hatmaster himself.
Let him go! Did you enjoy that?
A lot of poke from both sides here, but the Puch 3 hits so hard. Chalices from Hatmaster are going to keep him a little bit healthy, but Nuda waited that out. Oh no. I feel like Hatmaster's walking into a trap here, but it actually ends up being a lot of damage taken for Nuda, but the healing is helping him a lot. Good thing for Hatmaster is that he did pick up that Divine Ruin. It was a very smart pickup up against Puch. It's something you can easily forget that oh man. The thing is about this matchup, having just the backfire, it doesn't get you all the way out of the radius of the explosion when Nuda uses those corpses. So yeah, this guy, Hatmaster's gotta be so careful at every moment. The poke from Nuda just seems to be stronger right now.
Did you enjoy that?
Even though Vulcans are stronger all around Duel God, Puch might just be like objectively stronger in the late when he gets there comfortably. You know, he was down, but he wasn't down enough that he got his back to the wall, and it looked like there was any chance he was gonna lose yet. You know, he just had to keep biding time. He has gotten the Gem of ISO here as well, which helps out a ton.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, again, I just stopped the match if it wasn't already in the midst of going on and there was no way to know where they are. It could be over at this point. And I can't even get in touch with them, so I'd have to get out of it, stop them from a later point, or it being over, and yeah. Big Aegis here from Hatmaster and a mistimed explosion from Nuda. Oh, that would have been so good for a turnaround. Oh, snap. That is a dead Hatmaster. And could it be? Nah, not game. But it will be Phoenix. Yeah, you guys think if we've made up our minds here that we got to do it now? Shouldn't let it go on. I feel you if so. Rather than have him, you know, win the game. Probably right. As you can tell, I'm in a very tough spot here. Yeah. Yeah, I think better to do it now than later. Oh, return to the lobby. I don't know his name is the problem. I want to see Hatmaster's reaction, dude. I mean, it's not fair that he didn't read the rules and decided to fuck it up, dude. I mean, you know, unfortunately, it's on himself. Also, you in this kind of TO position, you never want to put it on the other person that they're playing. You never want to say to Hatmaster, hey man, do you want to take the win? Or do you want to give Nuda the win? Because then, that's the shittiest thing you can do. Because if you do that, then you end up making everybody hate Hatmaster for choosing to take the win. or he has to, you know, very angrily give up the win just to save face. And that's the worst. So it's always up to the TO to decide it for themselves, you know. Yeah, you never want to give it to the player. It's very it's just an immature thing to do. Like I said, either way it sucks.